Welcome back to Go Gaddis Real Estate Radio. In this segment, there's a $4.2 billion merger happening in real estate right now. Is it going to be good for the industry? Is it going to be bad for the industry? Good for investors, bad for investors, good for consumers, bad for consumers? I think there are some things on both sides of this equation. You're listening to Go Gaddis Real Estate Radio. My name is Cleve Gaddis, and I'm here to make real estate clear, simple, and worry-free for you. And if you want to connect with us, it is simple. Go to gogaddisradio.com. That's GOGADDIS radio.com. You can ask questions, make comments. You can push back, challenge things we say if you want to. Share ideas with us. You can ask us to do some research on your neighborhood and include an analysis of your neighborhood in our Neighborhood Spotlight. And you can subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel. Just in the last week, it was announced that Compass, which I believe was the number 2 real estate firm, it might have been number 1, I don't remember, in the United States, is acquiring Anywhere Real Estate. And many of you might be thinking, well, I've never even heard of Anywhere, but if you've heard of Century 21, you've heard of Better Homes and Garden, you've heard of Sotheby's, you've heard of all these big brands. In fact, let me see what all the Anywhere brands are. And the Anywhere brands include Better Homes and Garden, Century 21, Coldwell Banker. I knew I was forgetting that important one. Corcoran and Sotheby's International Realty. These are some big brands, like some big brands. The combined enterprise value is expected to be approximately $10 billion. The purchase price is $1.6 billion in cash and $2.6 billion in assumed debt. So the purchase price, let's just call it $4.2 billion. If you happen to be an Anywhere common stockholder, each share you have, they say today, will be exchanged for 1.436 shares of Compass Class A common stock. Based on current trading averages, that exchange sets a value of $13.01 per Anywhere share. Now that represents an 84% premium over Anywhere stock closing price just before the deal was announced. After closing, the Compass shareholders will own about 78% of the merged company. On a fully diluted basis, Anywhere shareholders will own about 22%. The transaction has already been unanimously approved by the boards of both companies, but it still's got to clear shareholder approvals from both sides and meet customary regulatory requirements. The merger combines Compass's technology platform, agent tools, marketing infrastructure with Anywhere's broad set of real estate brands. It also adds over $1 billion in revenue from Anywhere's franchisees, title and escrow, and relocation services. Compass said they expect to realize a cost savings of $225 million annually, and they project a stronger free cash flow and an improved cost debt structure. The closing is anticipated in the second half of 2026. So it's not something that is going to hire right now. It is going to happen right this red hot minute, easy for me to say. Regulatory approvals are still needed by both sets of shareholders. Now, here's how it's going to work. The number of real estate professionals, now there's 1.6 million members of the National Association of Realtors, probably 1.4 million today. There's probably 2 million or a little over 2 million licensees in the United States. 340,000 will be with Compass and the combined Anywhere brands, 340,000. It is projected that 18% of all real estate sales in the United States will be through a Compass or an Anywhere brand. In terms of market served, they serve every major U.S. city, 120 countries and territories globally via franchise and referral networks. Transaction volume combined 1.2 million home sale sides. Now remember, in the United States is 4.2 million, and they're going to be around 1 million. So they're going to be somewhere in the 18-20% of the U.S. market, which is huge. They say the benefits are it's going to allow there to be more integrated end-to-end services with Anywhere strength in title, escrow, relocation, franchisees. Compass can deepen its offerings beyond just brokerage, and that's a big deal. They say the effects of scale and cost savings It'll give more leverage in marketing, tech investment, operations. Economies of scale could allow more investment in technology, branding, agent tools, and everything. And again, $225 million is the projected savings. They also think that the company will be in a stronger position in the international referral network. Anywhere has franchises and overseas agents combining, giving Compass wider reach globally. Also, you'll have a diversification of revenue, title, escrow, relocation, as we mentioned before, and increased market share and competitive clout with the large portfolio of well-known brands. Again, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Sotheby's, Corcoran. The new entity will likely have greater bargaining power with vendors, tech partners, MLSs, portals, and everybody. And that brings me to really my concern. Compass has been the largest proponent of private listings. So there's a policy in place through the National Association of Realtors, and it means when anybody is a member of the National Association of Realtors, they agree to put a listing in the listing service within 24 hours of the property being offered for sale. Now, in Metro Atlanta, we can do a coming soon listing for 7 days, but we're doing it in the listing service, and then within 24 hours of the listing going live, it has to be in the listing service. Well, Compass is saying that they want to allow private and pocket listings. There's a huge, and I think there's probably a lawsuit between Compass and Zillow, if I remember correctly, because Zillow makes money through their 40% referral fees. So you see a property on Zillow, you click on Contact Agent, you go to an agent that works for Zillow, you close on a property, that agent or that team or that brokerage pays a 40% referral fee to Zillow. I don't know what their total combined fees were, referral fees over the last year, but it had to be in the billions for sure. But so these private or pocket listings are where properties are marketed internally or privately before they or are listed on the broad MLS for exposure. And this combined scale intensifies this risk because with more agents under one umbrella and more brands, the temptation or pressure to quietly push more of those listings increases. Now, I would love to tell you that I believe Compass's intentions are to do better by the seller for offering private listings. And I'm not saying that it wouldn't be possible to sell a property for more through a private listing. I'm just saying it would be less likely. I think if you put it in the listing service, you'll have broader exposure. The likelihood of having increased competition and potentially selling for more is a big deal there. But think about this for just a minute. If you know you can use a broker, an agent to help you, and you know they have private listings, meaning listings that you as a client of that brokerage can find out about before they actually go on the market, it might be a boon for them attracting buyers who choose to work with a Compass or an Anywhere agent. Now, think about that for just a little bit. And so you get this big player that might be in a position to be big enough to change the rules and regulations of the industry. Now, it sounds like I am fully in favor of the clear cooperation policy. I'm in favor of homeowners having a choice to be able to do what they want to do, but I'm not in favor of homeowners who are choosing to sell a home being manipulated by their brokerage into thinking they're doing something special that should help them, that actually decrease the amount of marketing that could be done, decrease the pool of buyers that might be interested in buying the home, and ultimately causes the sales price to decrease. Now, also, there are going to be pressures on the National Association of Realtors. So the way it's worked throughout the United States and probably other areas of the world, but I'm only talking about the United States, is that most MLS systems are owned by boards of realtors. And so the National Association of Realtors can control what happens in the multiple listing service through the Board of Realtors ownership. Now, that is not the way it is for both the First Multiple Listing Service and Georgia Multiple Listing Service here in Metro Atlanta. Those are both independent and they can do whatever they want to. But there's a million, let's just call it 1,000,004 members in the National Association of Realtors. Now, let's say it goes to 1,000,002. 71% of the real estate licensees in the United States of America have not sold anything, not one home. through this time in 2025. And so my guess is the number will drop. And so let's say it's 1.2 million. Well, 340,000 of the 1.2 million will work for the combined Compass and Anywhere. And they might say, you don't have to be a member of the National Association of Realtors. You don't have to be a member of the listing service. They might try to make some of their own rules. And I think that is so important, that we might have a company that is big enough to, it wouldn't bother me at all if they stood up and fought with Zillow, and Zillow, it's a great website, but the way they make money is really off the backs of the consumers and the agents. But it's interesting that Compass and Anywhere might be in a position to really control NAR's membership and control private listings in the United States, which would be a big deal. If you're thinking of listing your home anytime in the next year, we want you to get the upside. There's 4 or 5 different ways to sell your home, and one of those might be the absolute best way for you and your family and your situation. If you want to find out more, go to gogaddisradio.com, click on the upside, put in just a little bit of information. Somebody will reach out to you, set an appointment. We can meet over the phone, meet over Zoom. I can come take a look at your property, whatever we need to do. And I'll help you understand exactly what your options are for selling your home so that you can choose the upside that's best for you and your family. I guess what I'm trying to say is I want you to be in control. I want you to see all the options, and I want you to be able to pick what is best for you and your family. So even if you're planning to talk to another agent, family member, or friend, it doesn't mean you can't compare it to the upside process so you can see all of the different options together side by side. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back in our Neighborhood Spotlight, we're featuring Carmichael Farms in Canton. Also, it's your home, your happiness. Is the market moving, or is it just spinning its wheels? We've got that and more. We'll be back.